President Tinubu was in Lagos to commission the first phase of the Lagos Rail Mass Transit, the Redline, which can carry about 750,000 passengers daily. The president said the project validates what is possible when policymakers put the people at the center of their policies. Tokunbo Oyetunji reports.
Another axis of Lagos is covered by the metro project just a year after the Blue Line started its operations. It's the Red Line, a 37-kilometer rail route covering the densely populated Agbado to the commercial area of Marina. And President Bola Tinubu here is leading others to embark on the first ride of the service, which will deliver not less than 750 passengers on a daily basis in the first phase from Agbado to Oyibo. Although there are 2 more phases to go, excited officials of the Lagos State government are more than happy to showcase the already achieved part of the project, which groundbreaking was carried out about 3 years ago. They are also excited that the project supervisory agency Lamata was a creation of the president while presiding over the affairs of the state some 2 decades back.
It's no coincidence that the first pillar in this administration's Teams Plus agenda is traffic management and transportation. And we're putting a lot of work to build what our predecessors have done and to continue delivering results to the people of Lagos State. There are a total of 6 lines that we have on our Lagos rail mass transit system when fully developed. We have already started preliminary works on the next 2 rail projects, the Green Line and the Purple Line. The Green Line is a 71.4 kilometer rail from Marina all the way to the Lekki Free Trade Zone. The Purple Line is a 54.35 kilometer rail from Ojo, close to Alasu, all the way into Mowe, again, inside Ogun State.
When the other phases, especially the extension from Oyibo to Marina, are fully completed, the Red Line will move over 1 million passengers daily. And the contract signing for the second phase is part of Thursday's event to ensure that it is also delivered soon. That excites guests, including the President and his Minister of Transport, who expresses the desire to see other subnational governments initiate projects like these.
One of the ongoing transformation has been the transportation system. Focus on the people. This is one example of an agency out of bureaucracy that works. Well guided, well committed, a well-designed blueprint. It has worked across 4 administrations. For this revolution that is started, these reforms that is ongoing, we're not looking back. Because it's about people, the engineering, reconstruction, the affirmation of our pledge to be loyal to our country. That's one thing I know definitely, is that there's a very bright light at the end of the tunnel.
From the red, green and purple lines are also in the works in what the Lagos State authorities describe as an elaborate plan to cover the entire city of commerce with an effective metro rail service. Tokunbo Oyetunji, Arise News, Lagos.
Joining us now on the morning show is a certified engineer, Olasukomi Okusaga, Director Rail, Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority. Good morning, Engineer Okusaga. Thank you for joining us. First, congratulations.
Thank you.
On the inauguration of the Red Line. My question, how soon will people, be able to use the services? And then, why is this diesel powered? I think the blue line uses electricity, but we're told that this is diesel. Why did you decide to shift to diesel? Was it as a result of problems, with electricity on the blue line? But how soon would people from Agbado to Onyebu will be able to use the services?
Thank you, everyone. Let me start with the first question, is the how soon. The process we are deploying is the same thing we've done on the blue line, which is that first thing we complete the infrastructure, and according to the international best standard, we have to start testing the system, which is the train with all the other infrastructure with it. That would take about 4 to 5 weeks. Maybe in the next 6 weeks now, we have to start passenger operation. Exactly, we're still going to deploy exactly what we did on the blue line, which is going to be partial operation first, then we'll ramp up later. Then in terms of the second question, whether this was a problem with the electricity, no, capital, no. We're sharing the track with the federal government, and the federal government is using diesel. So we cannot go to electricity because it's a federal government track for the red line. We have our station built along the corridor, but the federal government has told us they have planned to use the gantry, which is the electric multiple unit later. So we already factored that in our own design as well. But presently we have to use diesel because it's federal government track.
Sorry.
When I mean by federal government, I mean NLC, Nigeria Railway Corporation.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
See that.
So that means that there are prospects in the future.
Absolutely.
But I'd like you to, since we've talked about how well the blue line has worked, because I was having a conversation earlier about the success, the measure of success, what's the uptake of the blue line? Because if we're excited about the red line, let's even evaluate how the blue line has performed, and then perhaps some of the lessons in the operations of the blue line that can then be used for the red line rail. I'd like you to just share with us, what's the uptake, what are the numbers? Because you shared numbers with us as well when you commissioned the blue line. What are the numbers, uptake per day, in terms of revenue? I know the governor has also talked about support in terms of subsidizing train fares. Has that impacted revenue, or is there a way that, perhaps the state government has paid back to balance payment in that sense?
Okay. I think I'll start with the lesson learned.
Yeah.
Okay. The blue line itself, we can say from the start of operation, we have, what I say is it's an huge success in the sense that we have not missed in terms of the target, in terms of ridership. We have about 1 or 2 hiccups in terms of maybe backup the electricity that the drip system we are using have a bit of, when there was a bit of rain there, we have a bit of vandalization, but that is not outside the perimeter of the right of way. But we resolved that. Blue line has been very perfect, successful. Then in terms of numbers, as you said, we have a projection, we are meeting that, and when the government introduced the subsidy, even the number shoot up to beyond our expectation. But when they revert back from 50 to 20, it reduces, but as we speak, we are meeting up a bit of the target in terms of 80 to 85% of the ridership figure that we are looking at.
I'd like to probably about the electricity challenge, because that was a concern that was raised even on commission.
Before we commenced.
Before you commenced. What challenge did you face? I thought you had built, there was a special
the drip system, the backup system,
built for the train line. So what happened?
Was
it well conceived?
Okay, what I said that we have a bit of challenge is not about the power system itself, because we have a 3 system that work for the blue line. We have the national grid, we have the dedicated power, IPP, then we have a backup generator. These are the 3 systems that go seamlessly. But what I said is that when there was a rain, there's a bit of vandalization of people that went there, but we've secured that in terms of to protect people from going there and vandalize it. It was done when the thing was switched off at night when they're doing maintenance. Because if you go there, it's 750 is a DC volt, you get electrocuted immediately. But it was done when they're doing maintenance overnight.
Okay, so
thank you.
Let's talk about a couple of things. Ticketing system. Ticketing system, what's it like? Can I buy my train ticket online, or how do I top up my carry card? I know there's a carry card that is a multi-purpose card. Do you have yours here? You can bring it up. So let's have
let me see if I have one here.
Demonstration, Can I top it up online and all of that? Also,
there's a plastic one, but that's a sample of it.
Okay, so and you can have, this is the carry card, this is what it looks like. You can have it. So can I top up, online? Cost implication, service and maintenance, because I think this is the one the governor got from America, this particular train.
Yeah, the Targo one, yes.
The Targo one,
from Milwaukee.
So what's been the engineering, skill, training, mechanism like? What's the prediction for downtimes? the safety protocol?
Pick it one by one.
Just go along with it. We're excited.
Okay. Thank you very much. Let's start from the ticketing system.
Yeah.
You know, as you said, now that's the carry card that's going to be used on all regulated transport mode in Lagos. Well, let me regulate the bus, the ferry, and the rail. And in terms of that, the system works robustly and they've been working so successfully. In terms of how you access it, you can top up at your station. We are working with some banking system now that, okay, you can top up from your phone. But at the moment, you can top up at the station where it's seamless. We have some dedicated, we have a vending machine at the station as well. We have a ticket office where we have a private people in terms of the agent for having you to top up. But the next phase is to go that you can top up at your convenience. That means your home with your account and every other thing. That's what we are looking at. That's the next phase of it.
So you top up and you tap in?
You tap in. The process is when you top up, you can check in what you have there. When you get in there to the turnstile, which is the AFC automatic fare system, you tap in. It takes about 10 seconds or 20 seconds, you go in. Then when you get to the next station, you tap out. Okay. That tells you
just like
fee.
Your Oyster
card or the Viola card in the UK.
The programming has been done to recognize the recent directive by the state governor of a 25%
yes, that has been done immediately. You can see we have a good experience in the last one we did on the cowrie card.
So how much is now the price of, if I want to go from Marina to Mile 2 of the cowrie card now with the infected 25%?
Let's work it out ourselves. 750 naira to go from Mile 2 to Marina. Then you take 35% of that's about 520 something. That's what we take from the card.
What about this from Agbado to?
They are not talking. You've moved from blue line to red line.
Yeah,
okay, that means we want to talk about the fare for a collective system of the red line. We will tell you. We'll talk about that. You want me to go into that now?
Yeah, please talk about
that. Okay.
Our guest is still Engineer Olasunkanmi Okusaga, Director Rail, Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority. Engineer Okusaga, thank you for staying with us.
Thank you.
You were still addressing some of the questions raised by Rufai earlier on. If you could just...
So I also asked about, I think we had talked about, ticketing, safety protocol, signaling. Okay. It's really important because since you're co-sharing with Nigeria Railway Corporation and safety protocol in case of an accident, what's going to be the evacuation mechanism like?
Okay, thank you. In terms of
compensation that you pay to people, sir.
Yeah. Okay, let me start with the safety protocol. Presently now we're in discussion with the Nigerian Railway Corporation in terms of operational license. Within the operational license, they're going to be, what is said is part of it in terms of the safety protocol, who does what are the standards we're going to meet, in terms of maintenance, in terms of evacuation. That have not been firmed up. We still go the discussion that is going back and forth because as you understand, it's their track. We are just going there to share it, and we go to pay some certain percentage or something like a revenue, what they call it, yearly rent or whatever. But the point there is we have looked at everything at one go. That's why we call it operational license. All these things will be factored in. As I said, we're going to look at the safety of the track itself in terms of level crossing, in terms of passenger, in terms of evacuation, in terms of who does what when the accident happened. Everything has been looked at. We have the LASEMA, we have the fire safety, we have Nigerian Railway Investigation Bureau. All bodies are sitting that we're going to come up with. It will communicate that everybody will adhere to. That's what they call operational license that has different schedules, as I mentioned.
Well, let's talk about, you've talked about safety.
Yeah.
How about security?
Good.
More people now will be traveling, and it will be quite a busy route, and it could be attractive to hoodlums and miscreants. What is the plan in place to address and ensure security? Then, of course, any updates on these people who take over the rail lines, particularly people selling. Sometimes you go to parts of Lagos, you see people, an open market right on the rail line. It's only when, a train is approaching, you see them, withdrawing from the rail line. I know that the state government has tried to make some effort to stop people from doing that, but really, those people, it's very difficult to enforce, isn't it?
Absolutely. You're very correct. Two things we are going to do is that we're going to mirror exactly what we're doing on the blue line, and then we're going to pick the lesson learned and then implement that on the red line. What we've done on the blue line, we have about 4 apparatus of security on the blue line. We have the Nigerian Labour would wash with the wear uniform. Some don't, that they go on the train. Like so they mingle like customers. If anything happened, they had their toilets. We have the Nigerian police. We have a dedicated team that the Nigerian police are giving to us to secure the infrastructure as well. We have a control center that have CCTV on the train, and then we have on the track as well that looks at everything. 24 hours. We have a dedicated control center in the office in Lamata. That's exactly what we're going to do on the red line. Then to now go further in terms of what you said out of the miscreants, maybe I will use this opportunity to tell the Lagosians and everybody that railway track is not a track for you to come and sell, to live. We've moved them, we continue to move them, and part of the measure we're going to do, we're going to fence it out in collaboration with Nigerian Railway Corporation. Fence the whole right-of-way out, and then have a dedicated level crossing and overpass. So there's no interface with people and vehicular movement. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to maybe talk to the Nigerian Lagos State House of Assembly to propagate a law. If you are caught on the track, you'll be fined and penalized. Maybe that will serve as a deterrent for people, because what we heard is that, okay, we've been living with the rail before, why now? Because we're going to have frequency of the train now. It's not that one in the morning, one in the evening. Now it's going to be minimum of maybe 10, 15 minutes, every train goes. And these are all modern trains. So we help us as well as the media to tell them the railway track is not where you live, you sell, and do whatever. It's dedicated and it's gazetted. It's for railway operation. Thank you.
Well, that's great to hear. Now, in terms of management and information, what some people complain about is, I mean, when we had the subsidized payment, how to, you talked about the cowrie card. Right. How would you avoid racketeering? The challenges that currently face transportation sector in Lagos State in particular. How would you address that? And then the train specification, I love that you've mentioned that it's a modern train, because some people, the concern is that when we launch initiatives like this, sometimes it is, the older trains, they are slow, they don't get there on time, they are prone to faults. So I'd like you to just share with us the specifications of these trains that you're using, and of course, in terms of accessibility to obtaining tickets.
Okay, I think that's 3 in 1. Let me start in terms of the train itself. The train is a modern train, and most of the train we're using, the Targo train, as you mentioned, is built for intercity. We just have the opportunity to have that because of the political thing there, which I'm not going to dabble into. The train is profiled to go about 150 miles an hour, but the track itself is about 120, but we're going to reduce the speed into 60 to 80 because of our terrain. The track is designed for more than 120 kilometers an hour. But we're not going to optimize that to that level yet because of their people. Until we get that safety right, we get the place secured off, as we said. Yeah. We have all the overpasses built because we have 10 overpasses. Lagos State have built 5. The federal government has to build 5. That means seamless, no integration. Then we have to look at unauthorized access as well. So we have to close all that. But presently, the train itself will go to about 60 to 80. Then infrastructure built on the train. We have a dead man switch. We have cameras. We have what they call emergency brake system, ATC.
CCTV on
all trains. We have ATA automatic train protection system that if you go beyond that profile speed, the automatic train will come up. There are all safety features built into this modern train, and there's cameras and there's everything linked to the control center at each station and to the head office. Then in terms of accessibility,
yes.
And then because of accessibility, is, as I said on the cowrie card, it's easy to have it, but presently you go to the station, you have agency everywhere, but the next is to have it that you top up at your convenience.
No cash payment?
No cash payment, zero. And then there's this thing they talk about in terms of, I don't know what to use, the word fraud or something, or the system is robust enough. But sometimes we have glitches. It's that what happened is you go to a supermarket, you use your ATM machine card, you say it's not working, maybe network or whatever. There's a dedicated line account that you pay to per station, and it has to be cowrie account. You don't pay to nobody, don't pay to any account, you don't pay to any that's not said cowrie. If you're in Marina, you have to be cowrie Marina. If you're in Matu, you have to be cowrie Matu. So that's specific to that.
Okay, you talked about the train, Talgo. The Stalgo Spain, the Stalgo American. What's going to be like the engineering structure? Do we have a skill transfer mechanism? You're also supposed to talk about signaling, which is another thing and another aspect of that. You're also supposed to talk, somebody asked me a question to ask you. They said, the green line, that will be from Marina to the Lekki features and all that. Can people, private investors, also have a chance to be part of the party,
absolutely,
to invest in it, and probably if you talk about, the modalities. And as we speak, can the train take me, if I enter from Oyigbo to International Airport to catch my flight?
Let me start from there.
Yeah.
Presently now, the track that was commissioned is from Oyigbo to Agbado. The sport to the airport has not been commissioned, but we are working on that. But we have a dedicated bus when we commence passenger operation that once we alight from Ikeja, which is close to the local airport or the local international, we have a dedicated bus that is feeding to the schedule, the timetable of the train system. That's what resolve that, right? And then on the signal system, as you said, I'm back into the track is owned by Nigerian Railway Corporation, what is federal government. We are sharing it. We are mirroring their signaling system. We can't go beyond that. You know, that is why we are even limited to certain extent because we are looking to have, when we have all the train completed, to have 5 minutes headway. But we can't do that as for now because they have their own scheduling. But we look at the whole thing, we're going to have about 10 minutes headway. Then, as to that, we're going to have a control system that's going to be co-share because as we speak, nobody, unless Nigerian Railway Corporation, give you access to enter the track. But we're going to have co-share. When we go to our own side and want to access, we call them, they know, and they give us access. That's the signaling system that we have there on the system. Then maybe you remind me the third question.
The third one was when I was talking about possibility of investment, and also the Talgo engineers. Okay. Is there going to be skill transfer?
Let me deal with the Talgo engineer. Talgo is US. The head office in Spain. We have the Talgo Spain, Talgo America. Presently, we have the Talgo team in the country working with us in terms of this train system, and then skill transfer is the next phase of contract we're going to sign with them, because you have to understand how to maintain it. The train system, understand their technology as well. So it's not something that we just dump at us. We have that agreement.
We're going to put Talgo skills yard or spare part yard or training school at some point?
Yeah, that is the future. That is the plan. Because presently we have them. We have the spare part. We are using the NLC yard. Then we are going to have our own permanent depot at Agbado, which you have to do all maintenance. We are not going to use the only Talgo train. We have the one that is coming, the Chinese one is coming as well. So that's what we're using. Presently, we have an agreement with them. They have team out there, and they interface. Once they come, we have a curriculum and a scope agreement in terms of transfer the skills, so we can take over the maintenance of it over time. Is that okay?
Good. Green line.
Green line. Opportunity. Investors. Government cannot do everything. Rail is capital intensive. We are open to real funders. We have the blue. We have the purple, the green, yellow, and orange. We're prioritizing the green and the purple now. There's what they call the RFP standard. If we have a potential investor, Lamata is open to them to come and discuss with us. We'll be keen and happy to take them further.
Okay. Agbado is in Ogun State.
Yeah,
it's
correct.
not in Lagos State. Correct. But you just mentioned now that you're going to have a big structure also in
a depot
in Agbado. Yeah. What's the extent of the involvement of the Ogun State government? Because for you to go and build a depot in Agbado, at least the Ogun State government must be involved one way or the other.
If you heard what from the commissioner yesterday, Mr. Governor said it, that we are collaborating with Ogun State to even extend it. What we've done is we share it with Nigeria with track, and they are going to do the same thing into Ogun State. They're going to pick it up from there. Even on the blue line, we are discussing with the Ogun State government to take it from Okokomaiko to Agbara. So there is seamless, we have what they call the Lagos Ogun State Summit, in terms of a memorandum of understanding what we need to do and how the Ogun State will benefit from what Lagos State has done.
Okay. Someone who lives in Ikorodu is asking me, when is the Lagos State government going to extend the rail line to Ikorodu? Is there any such plan?
My good friend has just said we are open to potential investors that might be there because we've done this detailed feasibility study. We know the numbers, we know the infrastructure, we know the rolling stock. But the government is not stopping. We're going to look at that, but we prioritize
the metropolis.
The metropolis, not the green and the purple now. The next one is going to be orange and yellow.
Ikorodu is a metropolis.
Which of the colors in favor of Ikorodu?
Ikorodu is a metropolis.
Since the red and blue will not favor Ikorodu, is it the orange, the green, the purple?
Ikorodu Oga from Agbowa to Ikeja. It goes through Agbowa, Imota, Maya.
What line is that?
I think it's the yellow line.
Yellow line. So yellow is coming to the Ikorodu residents. Yellow is coming. You will have yellow very soon, but I think it's
No, it's not yellow. It's orange.
Okay, orange. Okay. So orange is a nice color too.
Orange.
We'll take orange to Ikorodu.
Orange.
Well, just on the softer side, with regards to timing, you know how it is. the reason it works, I heard you earlier on talking about the comparison between this rail lines and the Transport for London. Yeah. One of the things that's made it very successful is that when they say the train is departing at 4:20, 4:20 is 4:20. You know, you'd have all the, is that going to be guaranteed? So I can plan my journey, especially since you're talking about the train line that will take us to the airport. I don't want to miss my flight because somebody came late to work on the day. Just to assure in terms of efficiency, and then are there any opportunities to report infractions? So reporting, you know, just to give feedback, consumer protection, in the event that a train, because eventualities happen, a train is delayed or cancelled. Like Transport for London, would you refund or have compensation in that regard? Since, I mean, everything's on the carrier, so you can easily make a refund. Yeah. You can easily give a discount based on cancellations, based on lateness of in an event where it was due to circumstances beyond your control.
Okay, thank you. As I said, I'll mirror the blue line. We have been very effective in terms of time of deployment. The rail system is not like buses. Yeah. Where it's like when I'm leaving 10 is 10 because we have a schedule. But because we're late in departure, they arrive, it delays the the arrival time and the other departure time. So presently, and that is the way to go. When they said it's 10, it's 10. When they say 2, it's 2. So you can plan your journey. And then by the time you arrive at the next destination or your final destination, we have the bus system that will take you there. And in terms of delay, we're mirroring the international standard, Transport for London, as you said. Yeah. We have a system that will show we delay, whether it's 2 hours, there's a bit of, it depends on what we've worked out. Okay. Whether it's the whole day delay or the train will cancel, there's a compensation that has to be paid, which is seamless because we have the database, we have the central portal that looks at how much you pay, and then it's easy to, as you said, easy to refund you.
So there'll be compensation in the event that there's lateness or cancellation?
Yeah, it depends on the type of compensation you mean. It might be maybe we'll give you that, okay, you can use your fund again on another trip, you know. It depends on the level of compensation.
I say that because...
But not cash compensation, though.
Because planes shouldn't have delays. In other parts of the world,
as you said, there is a bit of
in Nigeria, anything can happen. Well, it's not eventuality that delays our planes. It's a regular occurrence. And in other parts of the world, it's not the same. That's why I'm asking that, you know, here, I hope it won't be factor wouldn't affect the train lines. No, capital,
no. Okay. But let's put aside, you know, in case of, as your quote and unquote. Yeah, but we don't know everything within our standard and our procedure to ensure when we said 12 departure, 12 is departure.
So reporting channel, sorry, that was one question.
Okay, reporting channel, we have a feedback channel, we have a package, we have a dedicated customer channel, we have a dedicated line with I have to tell you, it's at each station we have a dedicated customer service that you can report, and we have you can report via our dedicated channel, via the Lamata WhatsApp, Lamata Instagram, Lamata Facebook, and then you can call the office. We have a team that will take it, and we have according to the ISO standard that we signed with International Best Standard, is that we have time to respond to your issue. Okay. So because if you don't do that, it affects our own rating as well.
Do you have insurance per trips?
Yes.
It's every trip. You guys say you do 72 trips there. Every single trip, is there like a package of insurance? And what's the extent in the space of an accident? What can people claim? You know, what are the modalities for that? That's number one. Number two will also be about, you know, possibilities as regards studies for the effect of even all this, your blue line corridor on traffic situation. And also possibilities for commercialization of the halls of this train station for events and things like that. You know, Lagosians might want to participate, they want to have events and everything. What can we do as regards all of that?
Thank you. Capital, yes, we have insurance on the passengers, the train, the infrastructures as well. But the levels of claim, it depends on the level of your, your claim that you're filing. But I'm not going to go into details of how much you're going to get paid, but we have insurance on everything. In terms of the rolling stock, the passenger, once you're on the infrastructure, insurance covers you. Once you're on the train, we have insurance that covers you. And in terms of the study, to see the effect of the blue line on the corridor, we're looking at 6 months to commission a study between 6 to 9 months to see exactly what is the impact. We already have the feedback, but we want it to be done by an expert, and we have a report that we can share with the public. Then there was the last.
The third one, events, partnership and things for those big halls, if you want to use them for events and things.
Lamata has a team, we call them the Business Development Unit, that looks into that, because categorically now I can say off record that we've gone about 40 schools that have come to do excursion on the trip, on the blue line. Yes, So we have that. We have a film making industry that have approached us. We want to come and do some movie. We look at that. We have a team. If you come to us with send it to the dedicated team, which is the business development, and look at that, because the objective is to make sure this infrastructure pay for itself one way or the other.
Well, on that note, we'd like to thank you very much, Engineer Okusaga, and wish you all the best.
Thank you.
You know, as you know, the people of Lagos State and Ogun State begin to, enjoy this great, people-centered effort by the Lagos State government. Thank you very much.